Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're just going to have a quick look at a few more of our machines, and I thought we'd start off with the old Bandsaw here. She was built in 1890 something, I think it was. It's a JA built in Cincinnati in America. Cincinnati? I think it's Cincinnati. It's a 32 inch, 36 inch, one of that, 32 I think, inch machine. It's not a resaw though. Don't let its size fool you. It's just a straight up fine bandsaw. So the wheels are only 2 inch, so we could run absolute maximum would be a 2 inch blade, but I don't do that. I only run blades up to an inch, but more often than not I only run blades, you know, sort of half inch, 5/8, that sort of thing, because you know we do a lot of curved work on it, and we're only ripping tenons and things like that. I don't do any resawing of any kind on this machine. It's just purely for just general daily use. I picked it up in about 1998, I think. Got it very cheaply. We had to put it back together. It had been disassembled and had to put it back together. I've had to remove the top wheel a couple of times in my original factory. I couldn't get it in or out of the factory without taking the wheel off, and consequently though something went wrong with it at some point there in relocating the wheel, and it ended up stuffing the bearings up in it. So just not long ago we just had it sent away and got the shaft returned and got some new bearings and everything put on it, so she's running nice and sweet again now. But it's a beautiful old thing. I'll move the camera in and give you a bit better look at it. I can't zoom in because it's so tall, so I can't capture it in the picture, but I'll bring the camera in. That's the top wheel, and there's the bottom. It had no guarding or anything like that. We made all of the guards up, so the guards are 12mm MDF just, and then timber backing on them. You can see down here, I'll show you on the bottom guard how we've made up the timber work for it. So you can see there that we've just laminated pieces around the curve just to give it some stiffening. The guides aren't original on this. They've been added at some point by somebody else, but they're very good quality, very well thought out set of wheels and guides on it. And being an old machine, it was a countershaft driven machine originally, so never had any motor attached to it. So this is what we've done. The motor's actually fixed onto a timber frame that we've made, and that timber frame's bolted to the floor, and the guarding and that you can see there is just the belts running up to the motor, up to the wheel. So this machine here is something that I'm guessing that the overwhelming majority of people would have never seen. Its brand is a Marinaka, and it's a super surfacer, it's called. So in here it has a big long blade, about, I don't know, probably 300 to 350, 400, you know, sort of 14 inches long, 12 to 14 inches, 300 to 350 mil long. It's on an angle, and as the down here has a big feed rolling table on it, and what it basically is a motorized plane. So it only takes off a shaving just like a hand plane would, but this thing is absolutely brilliant. Just if you just want to take a shot off something, especially if the timber's cranky, it just works terrifically. The only problem with this particular machine, and it is absolutely covered in dust, which is why I haven't given you a real great shot of it. I haven't used it in a long time because the rubber mat on the feed table here has gone hard, so it doesn't work very well anymore. Like this material, it's the same rubber that goes on the feed roller wheels on a feed unit that you see on a spindle moulder, and when they go hard they get brittle and they lose their stickiness, so the timber just slides on it and it won't feed through properly. But if I can get that fixed, this machine is absolutely fantastic. Like as I said, if you're where it comes into its own. If you're making a double hung window frame and you're fitting parting bead, for those of you who know what that is, and you need to take a shot off, whack it through this, it does it in a tenth of the time that you could do it on with a hand plane. Fantastic thing, and I really want to get it working again at some point, but it's hard finding somebody who can fix these things. Anyway, just thought you might like to see something that you've probably never seen before. And I'll finish up with this fella behind me. You've probably seen this machine in some of our build videos. It's a stroke sander that was made by a joiner somewhere in the vicinity of about 80 years ago. He had the need for one, and I'm guessing he couldn't find one anywhere, so he actually made this thing up himself. Its construction is all ironbark, which is an Australian hardwood, but ironbark is the hardest timber that you can get in Australia. Like, it is so hard and so heavy, like ironbark. It's literally like steel. Very, very tough timber. I've had this for, I think I got it in about 1998, and I bought it off an old joiner that my dad worked for before I was born. And he bought it off the original guy. The original guy wanted to sell it because he wanted to update, which I kind of think is funny. He sold it to our old friend, and I bought it off him. And we use this thing all the time. It works perfectly. It's got old-fashioned white metal bearings, and they're worn out, so it's pretty noisy. But the day I bought it, in, as I said, in about 1998, Dad and I stripped off the bearing caps, and we've chock-a-block full of grease again and put them back together, and it's been going ever since. So, you know, what's that, 25 years now it's been going. As I said, it's noisy, but does the job, works perfectly, and just does an awesome job. I'm just going to grab the camera and I'm going to pan in, and I'm going to show you the wheel down. You can see the wheel here. This one's just looks like it's maybe a bit of ply or something like that, and he's actually glued rubber all the way around it. Like, he's done an exceptional job on this thing. Even the weight, which I'll pan in and I'll show you the weight system that he's got to tension the belt. But one thing I really want to show you is the drive wheel, how he's made that. It is a seriously awesome piece of work. So I'll just grab the camera and we'll pan in and have a look. So have a go at that, folks. Like, look at that. Like, he's got this huge weight here running up to a bearing here with another arm coming off it with the wheel here to tension the sandpaper. So when I want to change my paper, I've got a block of timber under here that I wedge in here down to the tape to wedge that up to change the paper. But like, seriously awesome bit of gear. Now, would you have a go at this? Like, as I said, this bloke built this about 80 years ago. This wheel is all laminated timber, all the way across. You can, I don't know if you can see on the camera the joints here. So you got one piece here, so a join there, a join there, a joint, you know, like, he's staggered his joints, of course, but I just think this is incredible, this part. Like, I love doing curved work, and to see this is just, it just blows my mind. Like, yeah, it's just unreal. Anyway, how about that?